So we're here with the Melvins at their 30th anniversary tour. We're here with Buzz and Dale. And we're here live at Slim's. Doors open at 8 o'clock.
They do.
Take your word for it.
Yeah. So you got some time. You still got time to eat.
Great.
So we'll be wrapping up soon. Show's at 9, and your buddy's Honky? Or
Yeah, Dale plays in Honky, actually.
That's right.
Right, okay.
And Honky's bass player plays in our band.
Right.
For this tour.
So that leads me to, like, you guys have obviously a great close circle of friends, and your lineup does evolve every time you go out. I've seen you guys
Not
a
every
couple
time.
times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've had the, besides the Melvins Light thing we did last year, we've been playing with the Big Business guys for a long time now.
7 years?
Yeah, easily. And then Jared, who plays bass, came to us when we already had this tour booked and said, might not be able to go. What's going on? Well, my girlfriend's pregnant. And Buzz
She's
said,
due any minute.
Yeah, Buzz
really?
said, did you plan that? He's like, well, we weren't not planning it. So which,
she's kind of pregnant.
Right.
Gotcha.
So I had played a show with Honky last December, and Jeff, the bass player, stuck around and we hung out and just jammed, and we jammed with Buzz and just for the fun of it, and messed around on a few songs. And we thought, if anything ever happened, and Jared couldn't do it, and Trevor couldn't do it, well, he'd be a great third string bass player.
Sure.
Yeah. We always liked Jeff a whole lot. We thought Jeff was great.
And he was in the Bottle Surfers.
Bottle
too,
Surfers
so.
were huge
okay.
fans.
So,
He was in my favorite era of their band.
Okay.
And so we already knew we wouldn't have to explain Weird to him.
right. And so Jared didn't want us to tell anybody. Of course, you're not supposed to tell anybody when you're first
Bad luck.
Okay, just in case, bad luck. So Buzz had asked Jeff if Honky would be able to do this tour, knowing that if they could do it, then he could play bass
He'd
with
be
us.
clear.
So,
You guys want to open for the Melvins on a tour? Sounds great,
Right.
Got ya,
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
sneaky. Good
First
job.
piece of the puzzle, done. So that's how it works. But I mean, me and Dale, 7, 8 years ago when we got rid of our last bass player under severely adverse circumstances, we weren't very happy fellows, very discouraged at that point. And so we kind of feel like Melvins is us and whoever we play with under whatever circumstances.
Sure.
And we made that very clear with everyone
From the
big
get-go.
business guys from the get-go.
Of course.
And one of the other things was they had to keep their own band going. You guys got to have the big business going as well, so you also have your own creative focus, as well as what we're doing.
And it was also understood that if they were doing something busy, doing a record, doing a tour, or whatever, and we wanted to do something with somebody else, that we would.
Okay.
And they can't be worried about it.
Yeah, no.
And that's fine.
That makes sense. As long as you're up front by it,
25
I'll get
years.
it. It's great.
At that point, 25 years, it's like I'm done. I'm done.
Sure.
It's too hard
So
to go through that and have something terrible happen.
Yeah,
I just don't want to deal with that again.
Of course. Of course. How did you guys hook up with Big Business? I am a fan of them, and
We played with them in Seattle, a few shows, and then I had known Jared for a while.
Okay.
My wife knew him from Carp, and when they used to tour down in LA and play at the Jabberjaw, and so she was pretty good friends with them. And I got to know him over the years, and she actually suggested, once we got the last guy with him, she suggested Jared. And I told that to Buzz, and he's like, let's get both of those guys.
Yeah.
We'd often talked about doing two drummers for a long time.
sure.
We had, yeah.
It's kind of fell into our lap.
He's a good drummer, and we knew he'd be able to handle it. It's not the easiest drumming in the world to do.
Yeah.
Nobody could just, Mo Tucker's not going to sit down and hammer out Melvins songs. It's not going to happen, So now we have another bass player, Trevor. So, what I want to do next is electric bass, stand-up bass, 2 drums. That would be really good.
That would be pretty epic.
That would be really good. I think that's a really, something we really, I think would be the sky's the limit in that department. And I really think we've just scratched the surface on what we're capable of doing with all of this massive amount of musical talent we've surrounded ourselves with.
Yeah, there's now 4 versions of the band, basically.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't be happier with that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody I know.
nobody's doing that.
Nobody's doing that.
And the egos aside, and you keep things up front.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's working.
I'm not going to play those games with people ever again, and they're fine with that.
Sure.
I mean, like Jeff does honky. Big business guys have their own thing going on. Trevor has a ton of things going on. There's no competition.
And even the Melvins Light thing started out as just a duo.
Right.
Yeah, me and him play
And then
together.
we decided, well, we like this.
I saw Trevor play with Nels Klein.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, I could make this work. I could figure out some way to make this work, and that's how it all kind of 2 years ago all came together. And I love it. It's so much fun.
saw some of your stuff. online. It's pretty amazing. I didn't get to see you guys when you came live.
We'll do it again.
Soon.
Trevor's busy.
Yeah,
Sure.
he's the working musician. He's always he's in Europe right now. He does a lot of jazz gigs and plays with everybody.
Yeah.
And he's great. Yeah, and
He's
what he does in the band is different than anybody else I've ever played.
Okay.
Especially doing stand-up bass and doing all the weird. You know, it's not just your Reverend Horton Heat style of like, you know, rockabilly bass player. It's
you might as well be up there with a broom.
he can do that, but you know he does that and more.
And you know, you bring in something like a stand-up bass. It's like I am not a believer in dictating a lot of things to people, especially musicians. You know, you want to focus on that because it's so different. We have, just show people we have this here for a reason. It's not an ornament. It's not pretending. You know, we are going to make him play this bass.
Oh yeah, we gave him a big bass solo. Made him play a big bass solo in the middle of it.
Just step back and let him.
Let him go,
yeah.
man.
Show
Start the
your
album
choice.
with bass only. Start it with the bass. Lay the groundwork from the beginning. That's what we did. You know, I mean, I'm not screwing around with any of it.
Okay.
You know, I believe in that sort of thing. You know, just like Miles did.
Good shirt.
He let his musicians play. That's really important. These guys know what they're doing. Let them do it.
Hired for a reason because they like
Yeah.
whatever they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I believe in that wholeheartedly. You know, I'd rather let musicians own our music than give me something I hadn't thought of. Especially if I wrote the song. There's always something you haven't thought of. Composers who don't believe that, I mean, there are, to me, that don't believe musicians can make their compositions better, are just nearsighted, I think.
Or like when we were working on songs for this tour with Jeff, you know, a lot of it was like, well, you can listen to the CD and that's how it goes, kind of, but you should play how you feel it should be played.
Yeah.
And if it sounds awful, we'll just tell you.
We're honest.
Don't do
It
that.
doesn't happen too often.
No, I don't think it probably never happens. You
If
think
you
it
get
does?
familiar
but-
with a piece of music, you know, like if you give me a rock song to play, I'll figure out a guitar part for it. You know? It doesn't mean it's going to be exactly like what the record is, but I might play it better. I might add something to it that wasn't there. You know?
Okay. Saw that animated thing you guys did for Pitchfork. And this was a while ago.
Yeah.
The line drawing one
touring?
about the first tour. How did that happen? Or
How did what happen?
were you approached by that?
By
or?
Pitchfork, yes.
Okay, they came
And I
up.
went in, I just thought, and I just talked.
Right.
And I just chopped out what they wanted. Talked about
Road
the tour.
stories.
It was pretty funny. So
That's
I did
great.
enjoy that.
It's all true. There's no aspect of that, and it's way worse than that.
Yeah, and that
It just went from there.
Right,
Well,
right.
that tour in particular was just that was
Arrested,
just
all kinds of things happened.
The very start. I mean, there's
It's a very
all our
start of
best
the tour.
stories as far as touring come from that tour, just because.
Really?
Well, it was our first time really going to any of those places. Going down south for the first time, to Texas for the first time, East Coast for the first time. So it was a real eye-opener coming from Aberdeen, Washington.
We vowed to never tour again.
Everybody hated us. I mean, you know, like people didn't like us. We didn't have anything out. We had a 7-inch that we put out that was made 1,000. Didn't have very good distribution. So nobody knew.
I think we sold about 2 on the tour.
Yeah. And then,
But everybody hated us. They were all the skinheads and all this kind of stuff, and they certainly had no interest in our long-haired bullshit. They made it perfectly clear
they
that
didn't
was
like
the
us
case.
at all.
Huh?
Most places didn't like us at all.
No, not at all.
A few, but it was yeah.
My
what we
advice
were
to
doing.
young touring bands is the worst thing you can do is go out on the road and lose a lot of money and play to nobody. That's a really, really stupid thing to do. You should not go on tour until you're guaranteed that you're going to be comfortable, at least to some degree, and you're not going to get discouraged and lose money, because lack of money and discouragement it destroys bands faster than anything else, almost as fast as heroin.
Oh yeah. Or just know now that you're going to lose a bunch of money and nobody's going to come to your show. But if you want to go out on a little vacation, fine.
Yeah.
It's not much of a vacation.
No, we've been there, did that,
That's all
and
work.
that almost, you know, I mean, that really, we probably wouldn't have toured again had it not.
Had we been
Things not-
showed
things
that it
not-
would work. You know, we put out the Osmo record. We had a booking agent say, "Look, this record's doing pretty good on an underground level. I can book a tour for you guys. That will work." And we were very, very skeptical about all that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
But it worked. We made money.
We did okay.
We came home with money in our pocket.
that was 3 or 4 years later.
Sure.
After that tour, I wasn't about to do that. It was not like that.
It was in like 1989.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, what bands that are starting out should do, like let's say you live here in the Bay Area, if you can't make money by traveling in a 200-mile radius and playing whatever is around there, you can't make money driving to Alabama.
Play to 4 people and get,
Right.
you know, hopefully there's chicken wire in front of the stage.
Yeah.
If you can't make money in California, driving to LA, San Diego, if you can't do that, you can't do it at all.
Refocus.
Don't do it.
Gotcha. Understood. Do you remember your first riff that you practiced?
First riff,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
No idea.
Well, I mean, I played guitar when I was 8, so I was learning like your D7, your G chord,
Right.
you know, playing like Obla Di Obla Da by the Beatles. But the first rock song, like learning bar chords, was Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Ritchie,
Okay. All right.
which I still can't play right.
I didn't start playing guitar until I was almost out of high school. So.
Okay.
And started writing music almost immediately and playing in a band pretty quickly. In hindsight, it didn't seem like it at the time, but it wasn't that long, you know. A few years, beginning to end, just playing in a band.
Okay. Do you remember what album just sort of struck you as like, I want to do this?
Who?
Or who?
Yeah, definitely.
Kiss was the band that made me want to do this.
That's it.
I still like all the records I liked when I was 14, as well as a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
I like as many new bands as I ever did, which isn't many. And so as time has went on, the musical, the expansion of things you like has gotten bigger. But, you know, when I was 14, I liked Aerosmith, David Bowie, and I still like that stuff, as well as a lot of other stuff.
Sure.
So I wasn't wrong when I was a teenager. That's nice.
Yeah.
Even the Osmonds have a couple of good songs.
Yeah, that was one of the first bands I was into. Beatles, Monkeys, and the Osmonds. Those
Right.
were-
My Drums, that's a good one. Wild Horses, those are
Crazy-
good Osmonds.
Crazy
Crazy Horses. Those are good Osmond songs. Look them up.
No, I.
That's your homework assignment.
Crazy
I,
Horses.
Crazy
I remember
Horses by the
that.
Osmonds.
Check out the YouTube video of that. Check out the dance.
It's good.
Cool.
Was it like the Variety Hour? Or what was
Yeah,
it?
they had like a
Yeah.
variety show for a while.
Yeah,
My
they
parents
did.
didn't have TV. So.
Before Donnie and Lou show, I think the Osmonds had, they had something. I
Yeah,
remember
something like
watching
that.
it.
All right. I remember it vaguely.
I had the Osmonds lunchbox when I was in first grade. Wish I still had it.
Yeah, I know you made the killing on that.
The Osmonds.
I remember getting made fun of by the other kids.
They had Kiss lunchboxes. And
Yeah.
Even some of that's good. Some of their songs are good. You know, we like a lot of that stuff because it was good. They were good rock songs. They were super into Humble Pie and big rock riffs.
Yeah, Mountain. All that
Makes
kind of
sense.
Right, yeah.
It makes sense. If they weren't good, I wouldn't have liked it. I never bought into, even as a kid, Styx, Foreigner, stuff like that. Those were records that, like an aunt, you're into rock music. Here's a Steve Miller Band records. Okay, thanks. I'll put it next to the Diamond Dogs David Bowie album I have. Thank you.
But I can still listen to Kiss live and stuff like that. I did on this tour, actually. Did it on one of my driving shifts.
Very nice.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very, very much for your time. Go get something to eat.